Today I'm sharing 8 cooking mistakes that quietly waste your money and your food. And most of us even do them without knowing that we are doing them. We all do these things. I've done them, you've done them. And they're so subconscious. And I'm telling you, in this day and age, in this financial circumstance in which we find ourselves, we cannot afford to be wasting food and wasting money. I mean, when I look at my empty jars here, my empty jars are telling me, girl, get serious. Every time I think about going grocery shopping, I break out into a sweat. And then to realize that I have also been doing things subconsciously that are wasting food and money, it hits hard because I'm like, I need to get my life in order, okay? So I'm sharing with you this a very common mistakes, and you will see which one works for you. You will ask yourself, don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. I'm still healthy. I just like my hibiscus tea sweet. But you will see whether these apply to your life. And if you feel that I have missed some, then please feel free to put them down below. And stay tuned for the 6th one, because it is, for me, I was like, I cannot believe I've been doing this, okay? So I have my tea ready. I'm here to spill the tea on how we have not been serious with our food and our money. And let's get started on common mistake number 1. Common mistake number 1 is cooking without a plan. We all know they say failure to plan is planning to fail, but never has it been more true than actually in the kitchen. Like, we buy stuff from the supermarket haphazardly. And the best part about this video is I'm going to show you my own examples, because I have stuff in the fridge that I used to buy without a plan. And then you have ingredients that you don't know what to use for, and that is money wasted. Or you use an ingredient once like this, and maybe you spent hundreds of thousands of money on it, and then just get stuck in your pantry or in your fridge for no apparent reason. I am so guilty of this. And I think for me, the resolution for this is to have a plan. Okay? Have a plan in life. Let's take a trip into my fridge. And I'm going to show you this, by the way, in real life. I'm like, welcome to my fridge. You know, usually when I'm like showing you guys my fridge, I like to sort of organize it, make sure it looks nice and pretty and Instagram worthy. But this is me just keeping it real. Let me tell you an ingredient that has been haunting me. This. I cannot tell you how long I've had these pitted black olives. I don't even remember when I bought them. But I know for sure I did not have a plan for them. I was like, oh my goodness, I like olives. I could use them in a recipe. I remember when I was dating my husband, I once made for him some beef with olives. I think that's where the sentiment of these olives came from. So that day I grabbed them in the supermarket. Let's look at the expiry date. These things were they were expiring in April of 2025, an entire 1 year ago. Did I even open them? It seems I have opened them maybe and tasted them once or something like that. But olives are not cheap. Especially here in Kenya, they are not cheap. And I spent good money on these. And I think even the guilt. I've been learning about decluttering and how sometimes we hold on to things because of guilt. And this is one such thing. Like, I have no reason whatsoever to keep it. I know I wasted money buying it because I ended up not using it. But I feel guilty because I spent good money on it. And that is not only one, food wastage, but 2, it just also makes my fridge cluttered for no reason. And every time I open my fridge and I look at it, I feel guilty. So every time I look at it, it's just telling me, you wasted money, you wasted money, you wasted money. So I don't want to throw it away, but it is stealing my joy. It is so sad. I think for me, the remedy for this common habit is to assign every ingredient a job before you actually bring it home. And that's what I was meaning by saying you need to have a plan. Like, don't just buy stuff because it's a good idea. So let us together take this monumental, huge step of tossing these black olives into the dustbin and go through your pantry, go through your kitchen and find what else is lacking in there that you know you bought, that you have no use for, that is expiring, and that you're feeling guilty about tossing. So let's do it together, okay? Actually pause this video, toss at least one thing so you can get the feeling of it, and then come back, all right? Because we need to be liberated from these things. Bye-bye, you guilt-ridden ingredient. I'm putting it in my small kitchen dustbin right there, and then we'll take it back outside. Mistake number 2 is making extra food without having a plan for it. And I know I have been accused of this severally by my relatives, because it turns out over years and years of making food for a large family, I just don't know how to make small amounts of food. Like, it really has to be a conscious decision on my part to make a quote unquote small amount of food. But also, you know, for me, every time I'm cooking, I'm like, since I'm here already, I might as well make an extra batch to go into the freezer, an extra batch for tomorrow lunch and all that. But sometimes I have found that we make extra food without having a particular plan for leftovers. And there are some leftovers that just cannot leftover well. You know, let me show you. I have examples. Let's take another trip to my fridge. Let me show you. We're not going to discuss the lack of fancy fridge equipment, okay? That's not why we're here. Almost always every week we have ugali, and I love ugali, although now I'm sort of reducing how much I have, but we make plenty of ugali to the point where there's almost always ugali left over. But you never have a plan for this leftover ugali. Never. I mean, I'm really trying to change this trend, because this is wasted money. This is wasted food. So it ends up just staying here. Sometimes I will have it with my tea, like when I need a snack or something. Not a very healthy snack, because it's pure carbohydrates, but it's fine if I balance it with something. Anyway, the thing is, like, I have to really think hard what to do with the spare ugali. Like, it's not something that comes naturally for me to just say, oh, it's not like rice. Like, when we have spare rice, we know we're going to have it for tomorrow lunchtime. So you never find leftover rice in the fridge going for more than 2 days. This will go for 3-4 days. And that is, you know, it's not nice. So if you are like me, don't be like me, like, plan. Common mistake number 3 is improper storage of the food that we buy. I've done a video showing you how to best store your fruits and your vegetables, especially those are the ones that really go bad quickly. But most of the times, and before I learned this, I just used to buy whatever and then stick it down there in the fridge compartment. And then after like a day, the herbs are wilted. After a while, the bananas have overripened, the avocados. After a while, the ripe avocados are going bad because I didn't put them in the fridge once they started ripening, you know, and so on and so forth. And this just ends up, I mean, how much waste do we have of just vegetables that were bought fresh, and then we brought them home, and then we did not use them, and then we end up tossing them? It is so sad. Let's take a walk into my, at this point, infamous fridge. I don't know if you guys will ever look at my fridge the same way, but I'm trying, and we are learning together. Let's go. Before we even go to the fridge, let's take a trip to this infamous corner of mine that I showed you guys when we were doing the house tour. You see, right here, I have these avocados, and these avocados I bought, yesterday, a day ago. All right, when I bought them, they had 1 day to go to ripen, so we didn't put them in the fridge then. But now, when they are ripening, okay. So what happens is, if I do not put these avocados into the fridge today, by tomorrow or the day after, half of this avocado will be inedible, and I spent good money on this. And that happens in so many of our kitchens. Happens so many times in this house. I'm embarrassed to admit, but we are learning. And now let me show you more stuff in our fridge. Right here, I have lemons. I should know better. These are fresh lemons that were given by a dear friend of ours when we went to visit. Okay, this is not how we're supposed to store lemons. But you know, sometimes also you come from shopping and just you put your stuff there, and then our sweet help is kind enough to put it away. But if I haven't taken the time to tell her, okay, this is how we store lemons, this is how we do not store lemons, because you cannot expect people to know what you haven't told them, then what happens is we end up with this. Okay, I spent good money on these rocks of Gibraltar here. The rock of ages. Can you hear? I wanted to pick one in. These are hard as rocks. My fridge is complaining like I'm embarrassing it over on the internet. All right, so all these are for tossing. I spent good money on them, but they have stayed in the fridge forever and they did not fulfill their purpose, and now they have to be tossed. Good money down the drain. How sad. So here's my suggestion. Please watch that video on how to store whatever needs storage. Or let me show you something. Okay, let me show you something that our help does very, very well when it comes to storage, and we never end up throwing it out. Back to the fridge we go. Here are our carrots. In that video when I was talking about storage, I said carrots store very well in water. They look as fresh as a daisy as from the day we bought them, and we never ever toss out carrots because they can stay like that for weeks. Check out that video, and I believe here. See, more carrots in water. Another way to store your vegetables, of course, is to pickle them. I did a video on pickling just a few days ago. Check it out. These are going to last so well because they've been preserved in pickling. So our last Ferment Friday video, we talked about this. Check it out. Common mistake number 4 is ignoring what we could call the use it fast rule. And this is where we go shopping, yes, we realize things are running low in the house and everything. And then once we have gone shopping and we have brought new stuff, instead of first of all finishing what we already had, we start using the new stuff. And now how this ends up hurting us is that the old stuff, of course, is going to go bad. So we're basically just, actively choosing to waste what was old in favor of what is new. And this I noticed also happens, like when I'm refilling my jars. Let's say, for instance, this is our rice. We have this little rice left over, but I've done shopping and I need to top it up, okay? So instead of, first of all, finishing these, but you see, I don't want to finish all that because I know this is not enough for proper, like for a one-time serving of rice in our house. So it won't be enough. So what I used to do is I would just take the new one and then just top it up. And then we use it up to here. And then after a while, we realize, oh, it's running out. I top up more. So this bottom layer never gets used, starts going bad. And this applies mostly to things like flour and things that get degraded a lot faster. But as a rule of thumb, here's what I have learned to do. So I'll take my jar of whatever it is that I'm working on. Get an empty jar. These, as I said, especially with flowers. Empty the old. Get my new bag of flour. Rice, flour, whatever. Put the new one at the bottom. And then top it up with the old one. So definitely, I know for a fact that this old one is what we are going to use first before we start using the new one. For these, especially as I said, the flowers, we really have a bad habit of leaving small amounts of flour in the bag, because sometimes we will pour like the whole 2 kg bag, we pour it and then a little bit will be left. So we leave it in the bag and then we forget all about it. I have examples. Check it out. These are tiny remnants of flour. Okay? I can tell you for free, this one was bought before this one. Okay? But for some reason, we left a little bit here. Very little. As I said, too little to throw away. But I don't know. It's just, you know the mathematics that is not mathing. This, and then now it was left over. What was in the jar ran out. We went, bought more, and then we came, added more to the jar up there. Then this was left over. All right? And I can assure you, when the one in the jar is over, we will forget all about the small amount, and then we are going to open these ones. Like, what is this even? I can't even begin to tell you how old this small bit of wheat flour is. I cannot. But yeah, are we even serious with this life? This is wasting money that we have worked hard for. Sleepless nights working hard to come and waste our money. For what? So one of the ways I have found to deal with this is to, one, maybe do a 3-minute scan around my kitchen before I start cooking. Because that tells me I'm able to see, just a little bit of awareness goes a long way. And then the other thing is I build my meals around what is about to expire so that we finish that fast. And if we had done that, I would not have lost my olives, but now they're in the dustbin laughing at me. So yeah, let's build meals around what is about to expire. Let us do like a 3-minute scan of our fridge, our pantry before we start cooking, and this will save us a lot of money. Number 5 is throwing away ugly produce. Mango season is out. Sob. I love mango season. And I hope you watched that video. I'll show you how to preserve mangoes for the whole year. But mango season is out, and now orange season is in. I was in the market 2 days ago, and we have oranges now. One thing they will tell you when you go buying oranges rather, is that the ugly ones are the better tasting ones. Now, before I knew this, I would go to the market and I would completely ignore the ugly ones. Let me show you what ugly means. So this is it, all right? You can tell this one orange, I hope it's showing up clearly, is very blemished. I mean, if things are to be thrown out for being blemished, I would be thrown out because of my face. Okay, my face has just done a number on me this year, but it's fine, it'll go away. It's what matters is what's on the inside. And that applies to this fruit. And if I had not known that, like when I used to go to the market, especially my kitty, I would completely reject these ugly ones and go for the better looking ones. But I came to learn these quote unquote ugly looking ones are better. And let's talk about our children for a minute. Oh my goodness, it's children. Okay? My children, when we are having bananas, like who gave them this idea? You know the way a banana has just lived life, okay? It has lived life. It has scars. If someone peels a banana, already before they even peel it and it's showing a little bit of blackishness on the outside, just a little bit, already it's an issue. Oh, this banana, I don't know, it looks how. And then they peel on the inside and then they find that part. You know that part that's normally like a different color? Mama, I can't eat this, but and give us a break, okay? Eat the banana, you chew it, and once you chew it, the banana will look like that. So anyway, what I do with ugly produce, 1, cook it. Rather, close my eyes and eat it, if it's me who's eating it. So those ones, of course, you know what to do with bananas is we peel them if they're overripe, and then we put them in the freezer. I have jars and jars of bananas, overripe bananas, which we used to make banana bread, banana muffins, smoothies, and all that jazz. So yeah, I try to, and also, I also try to make sure those ugly ones are the ones I'm using more. And it also happens like when you go to the market, like some of us are so picky. Like I've seen, especially in the Western world, like they throw billions of dollars of food, fresh vegetables, or because like the green pepper was looking a bit wonky, you know, like it's not proportional, you know, like it's not, like one side it's fresh, it is farm, it is everything, but just that it is not symmetrical. Guys are like, nah, I can't buy this one. You know, you can't buy the carrot that looks like this and has like an arm growing out like this. No, I want the carrot that looks like this. So we end up throwing out so much proper food, which is of course not good for the environment. I mean, the Lord has blessed us with food, but here we are acting like we ourselves are perfect. We are not. So yeah. So in the freezer, let me show you in real life. This is 1 jar of my bananas. I've made banana bread, by the way, twice over the last 1 month. We usually actually on a Saturday. Actually tonight I should be making a banana bread. Today is Saturday. Because we need snacks for tomorrow and we're spending a lot of time in church. Okay. Yeah, let me do that. Good idea. Anyway, this is it. Alright. This is 1 batch of my ugly bananas that my children are throwing up about. But nobody's gonna throw up when they're eating the nice yummy banana bread. No, all of a sudden overripe bananas are cool. But yeah. Check out my frozen mangoes. Oh, can't wait to use those in a recipe soon. Let me put this here. Then I'll show you making my banana bread. Hopefully, so I think I need to put it in warm water because it's actually evening now and I do need to make muffins. We'll see. We need something for tomorrow's snacks anyway. When I started making freezer meals, one thing that I had not learned, and for me this has been such a lesson, painful lesson to learn, is that if I do not freeze my meals in good time, I end up losing those meals. And this especially used to happen with the lentils, like the dengu, the green grams, almost all the time. Like when I started doing freezer meals, I used to take too long before I froze the meals. I put them in the freezer. And this is the common mistake number 6. And I would wonder, like, I've made this dengu, and if this has happened to you, this is it's common. I learned this the hard way. I would make fresh pot of dengu and everything right at the beginning of making my freezer meals. And you guys know when I cook, I am cooking a lot of dishes and all that. And then I would make the dengu, set it aside. Make the beans, set them aside. And then by the time they have cooled and I'm putting them in the containers and I'm putting them in the freezer, it's been too long. And remember, I am putting them in the kitchen where it is warm, because there's a lot of cooking going on. I have like 4 or 5 fires that I go. Then sometimes I wouldn't even notice. Put them in the freezer. And then when the day comes to reheat the meals, you're looking, why is this dengu stew bubbly? You know, why? This is bubbly. This is not the bubbly, you know? And it will be sad, because then we would have to toss it out. So you see, the freezer only saves you money if we use it well and if we put the food there in good time. Otherwise, we end up losing a lot. And that used to happen way too often until I realized there are meals especially that are very, very sensitive to when they go into the freezer. Also, like boiled dengus today, leave them out, and then tomorrow is when I'm frying them, gone, straight to the dustbin. So I realized that is not something I want to be doing. So nowadays I'm very sensitive with the timings of when I'm making my freezer meals and when I am putting them into the freezer, because I do not want losses. So that's common mistake number 6. Common mistake number 7 is not using the whole of the ingredients. Like, you would be surprised how much we waste by throwing off ingredients that could actually be used to make something better. For instance, throwing away like cuttings of vegetables that could be used to make vegetable broth. Okay. Parts of the chicken that we don't like eating. Like, that's one of the reasons, honestly, why I do not like buying whole chicken. Because nobody wants to eat that neck, let me tell you, for free. And it's gonna be in there. Nobody wants the wing, everybody wants the drumstick and the thigh and the breast. But you're like, okay, I paid good money for this, what do I do with it? So sometimes, yes, we will cook it still. Guys will nibble. The unfortunate soul who gets served the neck will nibble on it like this, begrudgingly, and then toss it and wait for you to give them a serious piece of chicken. Okay? But I have found that these pieces of chicken, of course, make very, very nice chicken stock that is going to take your meals to the next level. You can use it to make chicken broth, which is a nice thing to drink anyway. And so we throw away so many pieces of this, like pineapple peels. I never used to be a person to make pineapple peel tea. Not because I had anything against it, but just because I had never tasted it. But you, my guy, let me tell you, I am now sold. Like, you will never catch me throwing away pineapple peels again, because that tea is so amazingly delicious. And if you don't know how to make it, check out this video right here. there you have it. You end up missing out on so many nice things because we are tossing ingredients that still have more life. I still want to learn like how to use, what do you call them, watermelon peels. We throw away like a third of our watermelon is in the peel, a third of the weight, and we end up tossing it. I've seen people doing it on Instagram, making kimchi, and maybe now that I'm in my fermentation era, we could actually give that a try, because I feel like we don't need to waste that. People buy spinach and cut off the whole stalk and toss it. I'm like, what? Really? Another thing, by the way, that I should have said this when we were talking about ugly produce. My mom taught me recently that if you buy things like kale and then it turns out a little bit yellow because it took too long to cook it, it's still good enough to eat. It's just lost the chlorophyll. It turns a bit yellow, but it still has all the nutrients and all that. So yeah, anyway, I was talking about parts that we don't cook. Beetroot leaves, people eat those. So if you grow beetroots, don't throw away the leaves. They're really nice and nutritious. So we are learning to make the most use of the ingredients that we have. It's going to save us money, you guys. It's going to save us, like, instead of money you would have used to buy tea bags of herbal teas, then use your pineapple leaves to make yourself a nice herbal tasty tea. You get? If you have stuck to me after this point, you are an actual trooper, because I really hope that these are going to help you save thousands. Number 8 is actually buying in bulk without having the proper storage. One of the things I have been struggling with actually when it comes to buying in bulk, and that's why I do not yet buy in bulk, is because I have tried it before, and not having proper containers for that bulk buying meant that I actually ended up losing. Like I lost food. I had to toss it away because it went bad. And the prices for buying pulses and lentils wholesale, it's just, the savings are astronomical. Compared to buying those 1 kg package run from the supermarket, it's tears, okay? We save so much money. However, I realized that I need special types of containers to store those ingredients. And this goes for even flour. Like we go buy bales of flour at the supermarket shop, which is nice. But if you do not have a place to store that flour, you cannot store flour for months in those papers, paper packaging, and expect it to still remain as fresh and as viable. That's why I am really looking to buy airtight bulk storage containers. I have looked, you guys, I've really looked, I haven't found. If you know a place where we can buy that, please let us know. Because otherwise, your lentils and your pulses end up getting weevils, okay? The flour goes rancid. It's not a nice look. And even if you might not necessarily see the difference, the taste is different. It's not as nice as when you actually buy it. It's not fresh, it's not nice. I would really, like when I travel to the States and I go to like the container store, they have these really, really nice, huge jars. Like you could store like 50 kgs of rice, 50 kgs of flour, and then that would make so much sense. So, if you know where I can get these airtight containers, please let me know. I hope you liked my tea on how to avoid these common mistakes that end up wasting food and money in your kitchen. I am sure there are others that I have missed. Let me know down below, or let me know which one of these that you are guilty of, and let us learn together, because this is not the economy for us to be wasteful with stuff, okay? Check out how to properly store your fruits and vegetables in this video over here. It's going to save you a lot of money, and I will see you over there. Bye.